Hi everybody, Kaiwaza with you, and it's time for some more Hawaiian records. We're going through my Hawaiian record collection, all 2,500 of them, by the alphabet. We're on the letter D. We're up to the artist Jack Mello, who we started last week, and I have probably 2 more videos by him. Today, the rest of the records, I think the next video will probably be the box sets. There are several box sets by Jack Mello. So anyway, I've already talked about him, so check out the previous video if you're interested, and I'm just going to show you more of the records by Jack Mello. This one is The Wonderful World of Aloha, and it's a nice gatefold, lots of nice pictures and information, and it has the title track, Little Grass Shack, Rhapsody of Waikiki. You'll find on some of these albums and box sets that sometimes he will record like an instrumental version of a song, and maybe on another release have a vocal version of the song. And then sometimes the vocal version might be by a chorus, sometimes the vocal version might be by a soloist, but the arrangement is like the same for all of them. I'm assuming they probably recorded them all at the same time and released them on different releases sometimes. This one is Lush Love Hawaiian Style. Of course, this also was released on a local label, but this one is on Dot Records. Some of his recordings were picked up on national labels. This was one. And I do love this picture of the Kaftan Mumu going on here. It's very like 70s looking, 60s looking. This one is a mix of a chorus and instrumental orchestra. What's interesting is they did take several standard songs like Waipio or Le Aloha Le Makamai, Makalapua, and they put different lyrics to them, English lyrics that are not even the normal English lyrics that would have been sung with them. So that's interesting. I don't know too much about this record or this show. Apparently it's a show called Follies Polynesia that happened, I don't know where it happened, but this is Jack Mello being responsible for the soundtrack from it, and there's lots of pictures from the show on the record, and it had some like Hawaiian chants in an arrangement. It had I don't know, like it's called El Condor Pasa, which is not a Hawaiian song, but it's like a bird, about birds. And apparently they had some sort of parade of girls in costumes representing the birds of different islands or whatever, because there's a recitation over that song to that effect. Prince Hanalei Fire Dance, Le Boom Boom Tahitian Precision Dancers. It's kind of a fun album. I'm sure it would have been an entertaining show, but I don't really know anything about it. Jack Mello and the Imperial Strings did a couple of albums in their what's called as Hawaii's Golden Heritage series. These 2 albums I have here, Cherry Blossoms in the Sun and Cherry Blossoms and Days of Youth, are all Japanese folk songs in orchestral, full-on symphonic orchestral arrangements. Then we have this one, Jack Mello presents Hawaiian music for your Hawaiian picture show. This actually is previously released material. One side, Hawaiian steel guitars from an album we've already seen, and the other side is Hawaiian ukuleles from an album that I actually have under Don Baduria, because that's the artist, and it's just presented by Jack Mello. This is the later and fancier music of Polynesia label. This album has a date 1978, but like I said, the music was previously released. And the idea, obviously, I guess, is just this is music for you to use for your movie, your home movie of your Hawaiian vacation. This one's really fun. I like this one. Jack Mello and the Waikiki Brass. Now, of course, obviously this was during the heyday of Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass. All the budget labels and many artists were doing like Tijuana salutes and imitation Tijuana albums. Why shouldn't Jack DeMello do an imitation Tijuana Brass album? And that's in fact what it is. Some standards like South of the Border, and then quite a few original compositions. Tacos and Poi, Chemo Meets El Primo, Leilani Lopez Blows Her Cool. And it just sounds like a Tijuana Brass album. I have actually seen this album reissued. I might actually have it, now that I think of it. Reissued on a European label without using Jack DeMello's name or the Waikiki Brass and just calling it some other kind of something brass, plays South of the Border hits or whatever. Because you wouldn't know. There are some introductions on a couple of the songs that have like a little Hawaiian guitar, a little theme in it, and I think on the one issue they did in Europe, they just took that intro off, and it just sounds like regular Tijuana Brass music. Here's, I don't know if this was related to a show or not. Jack DeMello presents Journey Through Polynesia. And this is mostly actual performers from Polynesia, the New Zealand Maori Company, the Choir of Western Samoa Teachers, College, Tamavua Village Singers from Fiji, etc. And then I think there are a couple of songs by Jack DeMello from the Hawaiian Steel Guitar album he did. And it's just music from Oceania. Here is Jack DeMello plays the music of Kui Lee. Kui Lee was a very famous composer here. Started out as a knife dancer touring on the mainland. Came back to Hawaii, died very young, I believe cancer, but was prolific and wrote some songs that very much resonated to a lot of the people here. And this is Jack DeMello doing sort of symphonic but yet groovy, very 1960s kind of arrangements of many of Kui Lee's songs. In the next video, there is a box set that Jack DeMello did of all Kui Lee songs and dedicated to Kui Lee songs. Some of these songs are included on that album, however they are different arrangements. They're not the same arrangements that this album is, which I believe came first. Interesting. Then finally today, this is just a compilation album called Hawaii, A Musical Portrait, Volume 1, of some Jack DeMello things from other albums. And I think there was another, like a Volume 2 or maybe even a Volume 3, but once a long time ago, got this and realized this was just a compilation, I didn't really need to get the other compilations because I don't get compilations of artists if I already have their stuff. It's like it's just sort of repetitive. I don't feel like I need it, just me. Anyway, so let's listen to some needle drops from some of this music from Jack DeMello.
Cheer
those samples, and if you want to hear more, please join me again for the next video. And if you're here for the first time and this topic somehow interests you, be aware there are 80-something videos before this one of me showing my Hawaiian records, and there's going to be like hundreds more to come. So subscribe and run through and see if there's anything more you'd like to see. And I'd love to hear from you if you have any comments, any of these records, any thoughts about them. Please leave them in the comments below. Or if you like my blue hair, you hate it, whatever, it doesn't matter. I won't be keeping it forever. I just like to do things to my hair sometimes. I don't know. Anyway, thank you. We'll see you later.